Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Fronti.
Well, happy Saturday and welcome to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Radio Show. Now for 6 years, almost exactly. Actually, it is 6 years. How about that?
Yeah, it's our anniversary show.
And we thought we'd do something different for our anniversary show. Gino and I have been very proud to help a lot of you, with our goal of guiding you to personal financial wellness. That's been our goal every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. You can find out more by going to donandgino.com, DONANDGINO.com. You can actually join us in our studio live because we have 3 HD cameras here by going to donandgino.com. Click on the live stream button and we'll allow you enter. We're waving to you now. And our goal has always been to help you. And now we've started a secondary daily blog called the National Real Estate Cafe. It's a national blog that we do every single day, 5 days a week, giving you updates of what's really happening in the real estate markets, the financial markets, and also rebutting what the media likes to spin things for marketing reasonings and entertainment reasons.
Yeah, so the reality is we can look at all the real estate reports from the inside out. And what we've been lucky enough to do, because we've been studying so hard, is we've been able to project things out a little bit better than the average media that's just reading one report. We are always looking for trends, Don. And right now the trend is good. It's your friend. Trends are looking fantastic right now for real estate. And we don't look at just one report. We don't look at just CoreLogic. We look at hundreds of reports and pick which ones are really important to you. And sometimes we change those from time to time as the dynamics start changing. For example, I know I've really been doing a lot of homework right now on commercial retail space, and we'll be doing a show on that in the next couple of weeks when I finish doing all my research. But that's something interesting to take a look at with, I'm going to call it the explosion of Amazon destroying retail space.
Uh-oh. It's a true. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of companies going out. This thing called Sports Chalet. I remember them.
Oh, yeah. Radio Shack and all of those.
Circuit
Macy's, Sears, those big companies.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is we're going to see a transition. So from a real estate perspective, it's interesting to watch retail space take a hit and industrial space become more important for distribution centers. So things like that are things that we'll look at to see what the trends are in real estate.
So part of our for our Don and Gino Real Estate and Financial, you guys get to be part of our inaugural interview series that we're starting through the National Real Estate Cafe, which you can find out more. Actually, you can go to donandgino.com or nrecafe.com. And what's nice, between all our interviews, we now have over 1,600 YouTube videos with all the interviews with these great professionals. Well, now we're starting a new series called Interview with the Giants, and it's the Success series, meaning that these are big business people that are very successful or trained successful people or both. So what we're going to do is we're going to interview some of these very successful professionals across the nation and bring them to you on our website. And we're going to start with a very good friend of ours that is basically one of the top real estate professionals in the nation, and definitely in Kansas City. He's also an author, 3-time author, national bestseller. He's a speaker, a trainer, a coach, a mentor, and just a really good guy that we're going to interview and gather up what he's been up to and share with you some of the success secrets that he sees, some attributes of successful people, the challenges he's seen in our economy today, the challenges he's seen in trying to be successful with all the media and all the distractions we have these days. Michael Maher is amazing. He's just very low-key, very easygoing, but he's traveling across the country helping professionals become better at their jobs, and we thought we'd bring them to you through this interview series called Interview with the Giants, and Michael Maher is going to be that giant for us today.
What's happening, bud? Are you over there? You see us in
what a
Skype land?
Six-year anniversary. Happy anniversary. And I tell you, it's always an honor and a privilege to be on. And I apologize for the wardrobe. I'm actually baseball coach Mayor here in a couple of hours. So I'm dressed for it and ready to run out and coach my son's baseball team.
Nothing wrong with that. I do that also. And it's quite a bit of work, and there's a lot of enjoyment. How old's your son?
He's 8.
Oh, okay.
8 years old.
So my 8-year-old quit, and so I don't have to do that anymore. But now I've got my 5-year-old trying, but he's about to quit too. So I think I'm going to be soccer coach soon.
There you go. Soccer's a great, safe sport, and I'm a fan of that. Max is all into baseball right now. He plays soccer. He plays basketball. he plays football, but he loves baseball, and he's really, really good at it.
You know, that's interesting that you bring that up because, you know, in our children, you being a coach, I'm sure you see the same things in your children that you see in your clients, is you've got to recognize success is driven through passion, right? So if you don't have a passion for something, you really can't be good at it.
That's right. That's right. Well, you've got to last long enough for mastery, right? And as Outliers and Malcolm Gladwell says, you know, it's going to take 10,000 hours, and that's an approximate number depending on lots of factors. But you've got to enjoy it enough to practice it long enough. And if you don't enjoy it, then you will eventually get to the point where you just don't do it anymore. And it's got to be something you love.
Especially when things get difficult.
Well, we're masters every year, evidently, because we got to put 10,000 hours in.
Each year.
Each year. Yeah.
You can appreciate that, right, Michael?
That's a lot. Yeah. That would be tough to do in a year. But no, it's all good. Mastery is my word for life. If you saw my license plate of my car driving down the road, the license plate is mastery, Mastery. And that's the word that drives my life. And that is, you know, I try to master being a dad. I try to master being a husband. I try to master being, you know, whatever it is. I either try to master it or I don't do it. Right? Bowling, I might be able to bowl a 50. You know, I don't. Is that good? I mean, it's like but if you put me on a softball field or a baseball field, I can hit the ball 300 to 400 feet. Right? Because I've mastered the swing, and I've mastered the, you know, whatever that element is. So I either do it 100, 110% or not at all.
Now, it's interesting you bring that up because in order to find what you're passionate about and in order to find what you want to master, you got to try different things. And that's what I'm finding with my kids. You got to try all these different things. And if they say, I don't like it, I said, that's fine. Try something else. You can't just do nothing. I'm trying to, I think as a parent, when you said mastering being a parent, one of those things is letting your kids find their way. And I think
find failure.
Yeah.
Right. Being okay with failure. I mean, I think that's my son played in a kid pitch game on Sunday. You know, he's 8 years old. He was playing against 10 and 11-year-olds. But it was just like he pitched for the first time. He played catcher for the first time in a kid pitch environment, and he hit against kid pitch for the first time. And it was just like, you know, let's see how much he really loves it, because the kid pitch year 9, is typically the weeder or eliminator year for kids who play baseball, because kid pitch is walks, strikeouts. It's a slower pace of a game. And you know what? Son of a gun, he loved it. He loved doing the pitching. He loved doing the catching. And he struck out at plate. And he didn't hit like he does against coach pitch. But when we walked off the field, he wanted to play another 9 innings. That's what we have to be in business, is that, you know what, the client says, you know what, we're not interested, or the sale falls through, or whatever it may be. You know, we've got to love it enough that it's like, you know what, I failed a little bit, something didn't go right, and I'm going to add whatever happened to the system and keep playing, keep going.
I love
we talk about what we do is the referral game, right? I've mastered the referral game, and I teach people how to play the referral game. And I truly believe it's the funnest, most awesome business game that you can play is the referral game.
Better than the cold call game.
The cold call. Yeah, and that's a dying breed, isn't it? I mean, that's as bad as being an encyclopedia salesman, I think.
What I love that we're bringing up, it's funny, we're bringing up kids' sports, but nothing changes from when you're young to whatever it is, whatever age you're at, or whatever you're trying to be successful. Nothing really changes, because you have to have a passion for it. You have to deal with failure, and every business book I read, I'm sure, and I know you've written them and you've read them, and they all say the same thing. Almost all successful people failed the most.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Go back to Edison failing 10,000 times before he figured out how to, discover the light bulb. He says, no, I just learned how to not do it right 10,000 times.
Yeah, it's funny. Same thing this week. One of the guys came into the office, and it's like, my mindset isn't, oh no, what's going to go wrong today? It's, how am I going to handle what goes wrong today? I know something's going to go wrong. I got 26 employees. Something will go wrong for sure. It's just, how do I handle what goes wrong today? So that's the mindset.
You have to, you know what, you hit it on that. You have to embrace that.
Yeah.
right? I mean, not even to the point of trying to avoid it. It's like go love on it and embrace it, because when those things happen, what you know is that your system is going to get better. Your system doesn't get better when everything goes perfect, right? Your system and your company gets better when you have I'll give you an example, right? In the real estate part, is the market changed, a few years ago to becoming a pretty rabid sellers market across the United States. You're seeing multiple offers, and before you saw multiple offers, you saw multiple showings and multiple showings at the same time. So we had a seller who had 3 showings at 1:30 p.m., 1:30 to 2:30. Well, she just thought to herself, you know what? You can't have 3 appointments at the same time, right? It just wouldn't be right. So she canceled 2 of the showings, and I will tell you that cost her probably $10,000 to $20,000, because 2 of the 3 parties that had scheduled a showing at the same time got interested, and it ended up that we sold it to one of the groups that were supposed to see it at the same time. And here's the thing, right? It cost her some money. It probably cost us a little bit of money. But now, when we do our day zero call, which is the day the home goes on the market, I now inform, or my team now informs every single seller that, hey, listen, if you have 3 showings at the same time, that's actually a good thing. Don't cancel any showings, make every showing happen. And guess what? We failed a little bit, or we learned from it, and we put it into our system. And now we tell every seller forever that, hey, listen, if you have multiple showings at the same time, make sure it happens. And we will not have this occur. But if you don't have the system in the first place, then you're probably doomed to repeat the same failures over and over again.
All right. Yeah, actually, great information. We're here with Michael Maher, author, teacher, coach, mentor, and so much more on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. We're going to have to go to break here, Michael, but when Michael comes back, we're going to talk about some of what challenges he's seeing out in basically the professional world right now, and also some of the success tips that you're giving some of your clients when you're coaching and mentoring, and some of the success pieces that each of those successful people actually have. So stay tuned. This is great stuff again on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. We got Michael Maher, who's going to be back to change your life. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.